So yeah, he's got it tonight. So let's see if we can go 1 or 2 better before the end of the evening.
That's it. He's a bit under the weather. I know. I was talking to him a little bit earlier on today. That'll have given him a lift, I would say.
It will do. Yeah. He's got a cold, so I'm sure he'll be all right. Man flu.
He's a tough lad. Yeah. A couple of chances here, Brendan. Dancing on a Dream, I suppose, is the more obvious of them, isn't it?
Yeah, she's a tough filly. You know, she won a claimer at Bellewstown, and she won with Dundalk here with a lot of weight, so she'll think she's loose with no weight on her back tonight. But you know, she likes to go forward. But it's a competitive race, isn't it? Very competitive.
It is indeed. Yeah, and a few chances later on as well. I know you're in the driving seat for this top trainer award as well at Dundalk over the year, aren't you?
Yeah, he is. He's gone 2 ahead now, but I think McAlpha's got another 3 runners. So look, you know, I suppose it'll all play out at the last race. But, you know, we got Annie B in the next, and she's a nice filly, and then King's Vow, so they're the next 2. But they've all run well tonight, the whole lot of them, you know.
And over the year, it has been a memorable year for you guys. I know you're not with the team that long, and early doors winning at Cheltenham was a great moment too. John O'Neill Jr., of course, rode him. He's in the studio with us tonight. That was one I'm sure everyone will look back on fondly, won't they?
Yeah, they will indeed. Yeah, that was just when I came over first. So, but no, he's young John Joe. I mean, what a great talent, and what a good time he's having as well. But no, look, touch wood, as long as it keeps going, we'll have a busy Christmas now with the jumpers.
That's it, absolutely. Will you be travelling all over the place, or do you know yet?
Yeah, no doubt Joseph will go to Leopardstown. So where else is there? Limerick and
Downroyal?
Limerick and Downroyal, yeah. So I'll get a few of them, no doubt. But look, wherever I go, it's great. And look, they're good horses, so it's great going with them, you know.
Yeah, it's a great time of year. Brendan, thanks for joining us. Well done and good luck here.
Lovely, thanks guys.
Brendan Bell then. Been a good evening already for the Joseph O'Brien team. 100 winners domestically for 2019. What about them adding to the tally here, Fran? Do you give Dancing on a Dream a squeak?
Yeah, look, she's up £11 for her last win, Gary, and the last day, six furlongs would have been too sharp for her. Just wasn't able to get out and dominate like she likes to do. This in between trip of 7 should be okay, but there's a lot of pace on here. The likes of Geological and that. I'm just not sure if Dancing on a Dream doesn't get out and gets to dominate, whether she's at her best if she gets taken on for the lead.
Fascinating runner here, of course, is the horse and shot there in the middle, Settled for Bay in the 2 shades of green of McGettigan's Management Services JLT, who own this fella in partnership with Maurice Casey. He's been a wonderful horse, Fran, for them. This time 2 years ago, of course, was when he really shot to prominence, won a stack of races in a row here at Dundalk, and at that stage Dave Mernan was talking about him as a Royal Hunt Cup horse, and he duly went and won that big handicap in a canter at Ascot. He's had his problems since then, but he looks really well, doesn't he, here ahead of this return to the fray? I know the hope is to get him over to Dubai again. This, I suppose, will give us an idea where he's at.
Gives an idea where he's at, Gary. He obviously likes his surface. He's a very, very good record up here. David has had a couple of winners the last 2 weeks. He's prepping his team for Dubai, so, you know, you expect him to be near his peak. You know, you need to go to Dubai in the back for a good run, I suppose, to get into the races and, you know, show that you're in good form. If you go back 2 starts ago, prior to running Ascot, when he's trying for repeat that day in the Hunt Cup, he was very eye-catching that list race in Leopardstown in his prep for the Hunt Cup, and, you know, a return of something like that level of form, given his course form here, he looks pretty fit. And the fact Billy Lee would have probably had a choice strike Gordon or Byron and 1 or 2 others in this. In fact, his plumb form is a big plus as well, I'd imagine.
Slight colour change for the grey there, number 11, Sir Jack Thomas. That's now with a white cap instead of the red and black spotted cap, which is being carried here by Raphael, the first colours. Sir Jack Thomas has been busy here at Dundalk of late, running okay in defeat. And Settled for Bay has gone to the top of the market now at 5-1, so obviously plenty of people have been impressed by what they've seen of him here in the preliminaries this evening. And as I say, it's a venue that he's relished in the past. Caddyman, though, Fran, was the one you liked, 11-2 shot now.
Yeah, the first time cheek piece, I think, going to be a big help to this horse, Gary. Look, he's disappointing his last start here, but if you go back to his previous run over the course, he's been placed in Irish Cambridgeshires in the past and whatnot. He's quite, you know, he ran very well behind Inamore that day. He's only beat 3 parts length over a mile, but the thing I think that's going to suit him really well today is you got Dancing on a Dream, Geological, who are, you know, confirmed good, strong front runners who, if they get racing, taking each other on, it just might suit a horse like Caddyman coming through to pick up the pieces, and a nice weight of 8 stone 9 is back.
Really interesting market, isn't it? Tommy Taylor is quite short there as well. Johnny Levin's new recruit for owner Johnny Hayes, Chris Hayes riding, and that one just a little bit on its toes in the preliminaries. And good old Yuften, Fran, he's probably the most talked about horse here at Dundalk over the past few months. He's switched stables a few times, and he's attracting money in handicap company tonight, and He's been running, in fairness to him, pretty well in handicaps too, isn't he?
Yeah, look, 2 starts ago he ran a huge race behind Freescape in a similar, standard race to this. 6 furlongs last year wouldn't have suited as well. He's got his chance, but he just seems to find one or two too strong from in handicap company. He hasn't won a handicap since that big win in Ascot 3 years ago, but look, he's in the mix.
Fascinating race then, this Crown Plaza Leading Jockey and Trainer Awards 2019 handicap. Tommy Taylor, the final one. Here's Peter.
And they're off. Breaking smartly, Dancing on a Dream towards the inside. Primera Vez is close up with Yuften and improving towards the outside. Gordon North Byron also making headway towards the outside. The grey Sir Jack Thomas takes over. As they settle down, Sir Jack Thomas has taken the lead, goes on a length in front, followed by Geological, Dancing on a Dream. Right with them as they go to the far turn, Gordon North Byron, Dancing on a Dream just behind them, followed by Yuften as they turn and head to the half-mile pole on the approach to the straight. Battling for the lead on the inside, Sir Jack Thomas, the outside Geological. They're a little over a length in front of Gordon North Byron, Dancing on a Dream. In 5th spot is Yuften, and they're followed on the approach to the straight by Primera Vez scrubbed along. Raphael towards the outside of that one, then She's a Babe. As they make the turn, Cattyman is in mid-division. Towards the back, Tommy Taylor, and Settle for Bay as they head onto the 2 furlong pole. Geological in the centre leads, Sir Jack Thomas. On the far side, Dancing on a Dream, Gordon North Byron, Yuften coming there in the orange colours. Raphael and Tommy Taylor trying to close behind them as they near the furlong pole. Yuften has come through to lead. Raphael, Tommy Taylor between horses. Settle for Bay staying on down the outside, but Yuften out in front. Tommy Taylor into second. Raphael third, coming on well. San Andreas, but driven out. Yuften wins well from Tommy Taylor second. San Andreas stayed on for third ahead of Raphael in fourth.
What a remarkable horse he is. Yuften has notched up the 11th win of his career here, and Fran, he's done so many people a turn over the years. He's done a few more people a turn tonight because he was well back too after a couple of solid runs in handicap company. He's a horse who's, as we know, very, very effective in claimers, but you really do have to take your hat off to him, and his current connections probably have had more fun than late.
Most definitely, Gary, and his enthusiasm for the game. He's obviously been winning. All his recent wins have been in claiming company, but he has been performing with credit in handicap company, say for his last run, which 6 furlongs would have been too sharp for him. But today, given a very strong gallop to aim at, he travelled very well into it, and once he got past him, 1 or 2 horses that were beginning to struggle, he came there good in the bridle, and he's took Joe Doyle to the front, and he's lengthened well under a couple of backhanders, and very, very nice to see. He's a stalwart here. He's here most weeks, and his enthusiasm for the game and the way he went to line today, it's good to see.
Really did put a seal on the race close home, didn't he? Tommy Taylor's run well for his new connections coming from the back of the field. We see both he and Settle for Bay are restrained early on, and there was a good gallop on Geological, of course, as per usual, helping to force it. Dancing on a Dream prominent. Sir Jack Thomas de Grey in the end is the one who comes through to take a prominent pitch as well, and the eventual winner, as you say, Fran, he's happy just to slot in behind them, gets a nice position, a nice toe into the race.
He did. He got a lovely position sitting up behind Gordon Lord Byron, and Geological is a bit slow to get going, but he slid down the outside. He's really, Sir Jack Thomas, Rory Cleary was, getting things somewhat on his own terms, but as soon as Geological's joined him before the bend, they've got racing and they're taking each other on, and there's no let up in the pace, and Gordon Lord Byron is line up with them, and Yuften has got a perfect sit behind him, and it's when Gordon Lord Byron begins to struggle and come off the bridle, and Yuften eases by him. I think that's given Yuften a lot of confidence to go forward, and he's just picked up really well in the back of that.
Raphael's run a good race as well. Looks as though there's definitely a race of this nature to be picked up with him here on the poly track at some stage, but Yuften really does go away nicely from the field here. Tommy Taylor, I thought briefly might be able to slipstream him and at least lay down a meaningful challenge, but not a bit of it. Yuften was powering away at the line, and a good effort as well from San Andreas there. Hugh Horgan on board for Joseph O'Brien, eventually finishing best of the yards runners here. Another one who came from well back in the field. Settle for Bay, Fran, inconclusive, would you say? You'd want to see him again, I suppose. I don't know whether we will. Probably not before he goes to Dubai. He made up some ground in the straight and just flattened out. Would you maybe like to see him finish it off a bit better?
I would have, Gary, yeah, given the pace, given the ride he was given a quiet ride, he's ridden to work into it, and the way the race developed with his strong pace, it just would be nice to see make a bit more ground between the 2 and 1 furlong marker before possibly he got tired. He just seemed to struggle a little bit. That said, look, he's off the track for a while, he might be better at a mile, he can only improve off it, I suppose, given his layoff, but it was a slightly lacklustre performance.
Jim Goff there leading in the winner. Yuften, the Macaulay's on hand. He's been, as I say, really tip-top servant and such a reliable sort, and you can understand why he's so popular when he goes into claimers. He might be in another claimer for a while, Fran, after that. I'd say he's picked off a 25 grand handicap tonight, and he's good and fresh there after the race as well. I think Noel Kelly was the previous yard he was in before he rejoined Dennis Hogan, but just a real thoroughly likeable horse, isn't he? 8 years young.
Oh, 8 years young. He's been tingling back to Ireland. You know, he's done it all at different yards. You know, his last 7 wins have been in Claim and Company. You know, and his first win in handicap company since he won, I think, the Balmoral handicap on Champions Day. You know, off 101. But you know, it's just his enthusiasm for the game, the way he travels through. Like he's ran every week or every second week up here in handicaps, claimers, and you know, you can see he's a fresh horse there. And you know, it was very, very good to see. He made full use of a strong pace. And look, he's off 85. He'll go up a bit in that, but he's sure to have another opportunity here, 1 or 2 opportunities at least through the winter.
Yes, that Balmoral handicap win was over 3 years ago now, as Fran said, running off 101. He'll probably be back up to within 10 pounds of that after that win here this evening, and certainly plenty of life left in him. Rachel Yuften strikes again.
Yes, and striking again here at a track he loves so much. An 8th victory at Dundalk. Well done to Connections, and really well backed as well. 11 to 1 into 6 to 1. Yuften wins, and a real great old horse for the team. We'd Gordon Lord Byron. Actually got a tweet from James to say that Gordon Lord Byron could have been on our list, the greatest horse of the decade. Maybe Yuften might have been on yours. Who knows? Tommy Taylor at 5 to 1. San Andreas at 20 to 1. Back in there. And of course, our countdown continues after the break.
Hey, Harry.
Hello, mate.
Tell me how to get to the racecourse.
I'm useless with directions. Your best bet